Jinny's journey to his dream. Perseverance that pays off. In a small town surrounded by green hills, lived a young man named Jinny. Since graduating from university a year ago, Jinny hadn't secured a permanent job. He had sent out dozens of applications, but they all ended in rejection or no response at all. However, Jinny never gave up. He believed that one day, a big opportunity would come his way. One morning, Jinny was sitting at the dining table, checking his email on his phone. His eyes suddenly lit up when he saw a new email from a large company based in the city. The company was PT Marju Gyre, one of the most sought-after companies in the town. The email contained an invitation to attend a job interview the following week. Jinny's heart pounded as he read the invitation. He felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He had always dreamed of working for a big company like PT Marju Gyre. He quickly replied to the email, confirming his availability for the interview. The awaited day finally arrived. Jinny left his house early, wearing the best suit he owned. He arrived at PT Marju Gyre's office an hour before the interview time. While waiting in the spacious and modern lobby, Jinny couldn't help but feel nervous. He watched people moving quickly, carrying documents and talking on the phone. The atmosphere in the office was very professional, something he had only seen in movies. When it was finally Jinny's turn to enter the interview room, he felt butterflies in his stomach. But he tried to stay composed and entered the room with a calm smile. Inside, he was greeted by two interviews, a middle-aged man with a serious expression and a young woman who seemed friendly. The interview began with standard questions about Jinny's educational background, stopwatch = 100, and work experience. Although he didn't have much work experience, Jinny confidently explained the projects he had worked on during college and internships. He also emphasized his skills in using various software relevant to the position he was applying for. The interviews then moved on to more in-depth questions, asking how Jinny would handle certain situations at work. Jinny tried to provide the most logical and creative answers. He knew this was his chance to show that he was not just a fresh graduate, but someone who could think critically and take initiative. After about 45 minutes, the interview was over. Jinny felt relieved, although he wasn't sure if he had made a good enough impression. The male interview concluded the interview by saying they would contact Jinny within 1 or 2 weeks. Jinny thanked them and left the room with mixed feelings. The following days felt very long for Jinny. Every time his phone rang or he received an email notification, he always hoped it was news from PT Marju Gyre. But day after day passed without any word. Jinny started to worry, had he failed again this time? 2 weeks later, while Jinny was walking in the park to ease his anxiety, his phone rang. It was a call from PT Marju Gyre. Jinny immediately answered, his voice trembling. On the other end of the line, the friendly young woman who had interviewed him informed him that he had been accepted for the position he had applied for. Jinny could hardly believe his ears. After all the struggles, he had finally landed a job at his dream company. He thanked the woman repeatedly before the call ended. After hanging up, Jinny jumped for joy in the park, catching the attention of a few passers-by. On his first day at work, Jinny arrived at the office with burning enthusiasm. He was warmly welcomed by his new colleagues and given a brief orientation about his job. PT Marju Jayar's office turned out to be bigger and more complex than he had imagined, but Jinny felt very excited to learn and contribute. Each day, Jinny grew more accustomed to his tasks and felt increasingly comfortable in his new environment. He began building good relationships with his colleagues and received guidance from experienced supervisors. Although there were challenges to face, Jinny felt that he was in the right place to grow and develop. A few months later, Jinny successfully completed his first major project with excellent results. His supervisor praised and appreciated Jinny's hard work. At that moment, Jinny felt that all his efforts had paid off. He had finally found a place where he could develop his potential and make a real contribution. Jinny's story is one of perseverance and belief. Despite facing many obstacles, he never gave up on his dream. And in the end, his efforts brought sweet results. For Jinny, this journey had only just begun, and he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead in the future.